Let's have a listen to the tracks that we're working with.
I want a real cowgirl right here by my side. Buckle bunny, oh no, trophy wife. If I'm bruised and bleeding from a bull ride, only a cowgirl knows.
We want to apply two types of effects to these tracks today. We want to apply insert effects and send effects. Now, as you know, insert effects change the sound and send effects change the time of the sound, so in other words echoes and those sort of things. We want to start by applying EQ. To apply EQ, we need to have these tracks looped firstly. So easy to create a loop. Simply drag your mouse pointer to the top and click and drag, and you can see a yellow line appearing. That means that part is now looped. The second thing that we have to do is we want to solo each one of these tracks. We'll start with guitar. So let's go and solo the guitar track. Now only the guitar track will be heard. Next we need to open a mixer window. There we are. You can see that there are two channel EQs on there. To enable a channel EQ, you simply double click on the EQ track. First going to look at EQ the guitar track. So double click on EQ, which opens this window. Now you're looking at a paragraphic EQ and you have three settings. You have hertz, in other words the frequency that you will be affecting. You have decibel, which is the gain, the volume that you will either boost or cut on that frequency. And then you have Q, wide or narrow. That means other frequencies affected around it, or just very narrow, which means only one frequency will be affected. You want to set your Q as narrow as possible to start off by clicking and dragging up. Next, we want to move to our gain. We want the gain to be at maximum volume, so that we can hear the frequency that we are working with. So same process applies. Click and drag up. I'm going to play the track, and while I'm playing I'm going to scroll through the different frequencies until I hear a frequency that stands out. We want to, instead of boost, cut, but we don't want to cut too much, otherwise it's going to sound really obvious that we've gotten rid of some of the frequency. Click and drag down, and we're going to cut only by 3 to 4 dB. So we want to widen the Q slightly. Let's have a listen to that. You hear that it sounds brighter. It's because we cut some of the low frequency. It's a little bit too much to my ear, so I'm going to raise that a little bit. So we're only cutting 2.5 dB. Let's have a listen. That's better. We go to the next frequency, narrow the Q, increase the gain to its maximum. We're going to work our way from 20 Hz to 20 kHz while playing the track to see if we can spot any other frequencies that stand out. You hear that ringing? How do we get rid of it? Well, as before, we go to the volume, the gain, and we want to lessen the gain. Remember, we're only cutting by 3 to 4 dB. There we go, negative 3 dB. We don't want to make a narrow cut, so we're going to widen the Q. Let's have a listen. It's your turn. Go ahead and EQ your guitar track, and once you're done, EQ the vocal track.